Morning, Sanity. Thanks for joining us today. I'm Lou, or Ange.
I don't even know my name. I'm Cindy. Please ignore the bags under our eyes. It's been a long week, and we decided to do this early, early, you know, it's 10 o'clock Sunday morning, because hopefully it won't get so hot in the store.
Well, and we've had a lot of smoke from forest fires, and
she's asthmatic-y.
Yeah, I don't sleep well when I can't breathe.
Yeah, and anyway, who cares how we slept? We're here to talk about yarn, knitting, and spinning.
Yeah.
And all sorts of fun stuff like that.
All the things.
All the things.
Thanks for joining us. If you're new, welcome. If you're
new, I'm a little nuts, sorry.
And if you're returning, thanks for coming back.
I'm a little nuts, sorry.
Let's just jump into whips.
Yeah, okay. Oh, me first. Me! Okay. So, okay, my whip is that I got a whole bunch of yarn this week. So
it is a whip. It's not an acquisition.
I lost the red. Anyway, you know what a rainbow looks like. If you've been here before, you know about me and my love of rainbows.
She does love rainbows. There's a red here. It's the Emperor's new red.
Where'd the red go? Oh, I apparently didn't bring the red. I don't know.
Left it at home?
No, it's under the table. Anyway, so we have a bookstore, coffee shop, yarn store, and we've been told by a lot of people that it's a safe space in the town for gay and lesbian, LGBTQIA, especially the youth. We have a lot of teenagers come in, which is great, and so I wanted to do something to celebrate them. So I am making rainbow hats.
Rainbow hats.
So I bought a bunch of yarn. We were placing a wholesale order, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna get this yarn in. It's not something we sell, but it's good, basic, sturdy yarn, in the colors I wanted, except the orange is a little dark.
It's fine. It's a little
great.
dark, but
and so I bought a bag of each color, and a bag is 10 balls. So I bought 60 balls of yarn. I'm gonna knit a lot of hats, but that's okay.
I'll hold her to it, Terry.
I really enjoy knitting hats. I'm gonna do some other stuff too, but mainly hats.
And I was thinking I might buy some off you and do some mitts or KALs or stuff too.
I'm making them so we can sell them pretty cheap in the store for people who want to show their pride and all that fun stuff,
or show their allies.
Yes. Exactly.
There are lots of people
and for people who just like rainbows. Yeah. You're allowed to still like rainbows. But yeah, so this is, the yarn is Estelle Worsted. It's partially acrylic. It's 50% acrylic, 40% wool, 10% nylon. And it's worsted.
Feels nice.
Obvious by its name.
I really like the Estelle yarns.
It's a great yarn. So I had gotten some of the chunky when I was making the Hudson's Bay hats. Yeah. Which I still have a lot of too, but shh. I don't have too much yarn, no. Anyway, they come in great colors, and especially at wholesale prices, very affordable. So then I can make hats that are, you know, cheap to sell. So this is just my basic normal hat. It's a 96 stitch cast on, some ribbing. I go for a ways, and then I do a square crown, thanks. I'm like the thing at the top. Yeah.
She's not crazy.
No, I'm not crazy. But yeah, so I am really enjoying it. I'm just changing colors here. I'm not even trying to do anything fancy.
How many rows are you doing of each color?
6 rows of each color. So I'm going to do some like this, and then some that are actually just the 6 colors will make the whole hat. There won't be. This will have 2 full rainbow repeats. But yeah, and I really love knitting with it. It's great. And I am knitting on new needles to me, which I'll talk about in acquisitions.
They're cool.
Yeah. Yeah. So, what's your whip?
Yours? My whip is my dad's sock still. But I've finished the foot and I'm onto the heel, and I've knit the heel 3 times because I kept changing my mind as to whether I wanted bottom flappers, where the heel flap is on the bottom and the gussets on the back of the heel, or sweet tomato heels, or just a traditional heel flap. But in the end, I decided to go with the sweet tomato heel. I've done it for him before, so I know exactly how long to go before I start the heel, and I know it fits him well. So, and it makes a nice smooth heel. So yeah, if you haven't seen the sweet tomato heel before, it makes a really smooth, so it's done in wedges. So that is the end of one wedge there, and then the second wedge here, and the third wedge. But it's a really smooth, and there's no gaps, because after each section you go around, like a whole round around the front, so there's no gap at the sides because you're closing it a third of the way through each heel. So I really like it, and it fits me really well, so I tend to do it for my heels.
Doesn't fit me at all.
I think my dad has
it's so strange,
like narrow heels like I do, so
I love that there are so many different kinds of heels now, because everybody can pick the one that they like to knit, or that fits the best, or whatever that they like the look of, or
And the sock is just a 1x1 rib, no pattern. I cast on 16 with Judy's Magic cast on, because it makes a nice square, nice wide toe, and then I increase rather quickly to make a more rounded toe. And then when I get past the heel, I'm going to reincorporate the ribbing all the way around, and I think I might incorporate a cable along the side.
Ooh, something different.
Yeah.
Just to keep your interest going?
Dad likes nice plain socks, but I think he can
put
deal
up
with a little bit of a cable on the side.
You can, can't you? He watches.
He does. I get phone calls whenever he's watching if I've mentioned him about whether he approves or disapproves or agrees or disagrees about something I said.
Yeah.
So hi, Dad. Anyway,
it's so weird that our parents watch the podcast.
Yeah. It's just weird, but it's fine. It's fun. It's cool. And
It's not like we swear on the podcast. Sorry,
I derailed
this done.
You did. I will get this done.
It's your Christmas in July.
It's my Christmas in July knit. And it's been, I won't say fun, but it's been fine. Like, I've enjoyed it. It's gone really smoothly. I'm loving my new Kollage needles. The square is still taking a bit of getting used to for picking up stitches.
Just picking up stitches, or like getting the needle through on
getting the tip in. Yes. But I'm really loving doing magic loop with the twisting needles. They swivel and they never kink up. Like, this just always sits downwards, and it doesn't have this weird kink that's in, like my needles don't look like that. So yeah, I'm really loving them, and I love my needles, and I'm so glad I got them. So that's my whip.
Okay, I'm just grabbing my other one. Okay, so I finished what I've been working on non-stop for the last 4 weeks. So I'm back to this.
And this pattern is?
This pattern is Carradal by Lucy Hague. And yeah, it's beautiful. I'm sorry, I'm in the middle of a row.
I even told you to take a minute to finish the row.
Because it takes more than a minute to finish one of these rows.
Yeah,
I'm into the cable, which is this really cool, intricate cable.
I love the cable. And this is the edging at the bottom.
Yeah, but I mean,
it's
edging.
wide.
Yeah. So this shawl is it's a wedding shawl. It's for our friend Rebecca. Her wedding is in September, so I have to get my button gear. But it got put on hold while I was doing a test knit. And now I'm back to it, so I'm really excited. I'm really enjoying the cables in this.
Yeah, it looks really nice.
And the yarn is
Persuasion.
Thanks. I was about to say Compulsion, and then I'm like, no, that's not right.
It's
Persuasion. It's our
MCN base.
Yeah, and Lou dyed it for me to match Rebecca's dress and the girls' dresses and everything.
Yeah.
So yeah. Oh, her daughters, who are her bridesmaids, the girls. I just said the girls.
You know the girls, right?
Girls. It is a fabulous pattern. It's fabulous yarn. It's Fabulous yarn. I'm not drunk, promise.
I like dyeing yarn.
It's Coca-Cola, I promise.
It is. Here, I can prove it for you.
I've got my refill.
Because she's not an addict.
I'm not. Really, I'm not. I'm sorry, Mom. Yeah.
I like it.
I like it.
So, and Rebecca's so excited
she's
about
so,
it.
She's it's the thing she's most excited about her wedding. It's just bizarre.
I think because it's a no stress thing.
Yeah. She doesn't have to do anything.
Yeah.
And she knows I'll have it done before. So.
Yeah.
Oh, and I've got it in my pretty Mrs. Brown's bags.
Oh, yeah, you haven't used that one in a while. Or
I
haven't
have
seen it in a while. It's been this project.
This project has been in it, but I've been working on the other one.
It's true.
That's all our whips.
That was all our whips.
Well, I mean, we both have many, many other whips, but those are the ones we've been actively working on.
I actually debated bringing my crocheted blankets
and showing
today.
it off. Yeah.
I'm in the middle of a crocheted blanket, which I don't work on during the summer because I've finished the crocheting and it's a pattern that needs weaving through. So you're carrying the whole blanket on your lap while you're weaving through the extra weight.
So I felt about the shawl I was knitting because it's really big. So I had the end flung over my shoulder and I was just like, it's wool and it's hot. Hate summer.
Yeah, hate summer.
I mean, love summer.
It's 30 degrees.
Which is, everybody else is like,
insane.
Everybody else is like, oh my god, that is not hot at all. We're at like 57. Okay, I know you're not at 57 unless you're in Fahrenheit and cold, but yeah, it's just been.
It's brutal. I'm so excited. Tomorrow's supposed to be like 21 and raining.
Yeah. Home is okay because we just kind of we each have where we sit or whatever, and the fan is pointed right at us, and it's like but you don't move from the fan spot. But the store, we actually have to do work and stuff.
Yeah.
So
speaking of,
it's your pretty.
Some of the work I do is dyeing, and this, I don't think you even saw the fiber dyed. Sorry, I dyed it after the last podcast. I dyed the fiber, which is Knit
You
Picks.
posted it on your Instagram, didn't you?
Yes, I did. It's Knit Picks Stroll, the bear yarn, or the bear fiber, which they call it Knit Picks roving. It's not roving, it's top. There is a difference, and it drives me batty, because if you're looking for roving, how do you know if the photo isn't super close up and clear whether you've got roving or top? There's a difference. Rant over.
For now.
So I dyed it in blues and purple, and I just did a low immersion dye in the oven, and I dyed it so that it would go purple to blue and then blue to purple, so that I'd get a gradient that I could dye socks from. And this is what it looks like. Socks from? Or knit socks from. So this is my first hand spun sock yarn for myself, and I love how it turned out.
It is amazing.
It's really cool.
Yeah, it looks fab.
Just to see the gradient.
La 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 la
La la la la. Sorry,
I could do the Jeopardy theme, except that you wouldn't even be able to recognize it as the Jeopardy thing because I can't sing.
It's not bathed yet. Bathed. It's not soaked yet. But there's the gradient. So, the light is making this side look a little lighter. But there's the dark purple to the blue will be one sock, and then the next will be dark purple to the blue from the other end. And I'm super thrilled with it. Oh, there. Upside down works better. I'm super thrilled with it. And I actually got like fingering weight yarn. And it's a little bit heathered. I left a little bit of white in the purple especially. So I'm super thrilled. Yeah. And my next knitting socks will be these. I'm gonna knit some socks for myself.
And the next, that's the first time that you've dyed fiber that you've been happy.
Yeah,
right?
I've dyed some once or twice before, but this was the first one that I didn't feel like I compacted it at all, and I got the dye where I wanted it, and
good. She's learning new techniques.
Yeah, and this is for Ken of Homestead Hobbyist is doing. He's calling it the HH Sock Along on Instagram. And so during the Tour de Fleece, we spun the yarn, which ends today.
Oh, yeah.
And then in September, to give people who didn't have a chance to finish the yarn a chance to catch up, in September we're all going to knit the socks from it. So I'm super excited to knit these.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They look lovely.
Yeah.
Very nice spin.
Very cool. Very cool.
So I've
that's
got
my FO.
Yeah, my FO
is epic.
Magical.
Here.
So,
give me the tip and we'll run it through the screen.
Okay. Oh, there, we're into some pretty texture, and then
it is a massive shawl.
It is lovely.
Gorgeous.
So it took 2.65 balls of yarn, and the yarn is Artfil Belle in Laguna. And it's just an amazing yarn.
Yeah, show
so my last
of the color. Like, the variegations are so subtle. It's super tonal.
Yeah, we're blowing
out. I
don't
know if you can see all the tonal variations there.
And I love the yarn. So my last shawl, besides the cable one, was also out of this. And yeah, I really like it. Yeah. And it's soft and lovely, but it's sturdy enough to stand up to my...
She has sandpaper hands,
I have my
so she tends to shred the yarn as she knits.
Yeah, but oh, look at this texture. It's just,
it's awesome.
So
and it changes direction.
Cool. Yeah, it keeps changing direction. Okay, so the pattern is Indecisive, and this was a test knit. So it comes out next Saturday, August 4th, by Kyle, who is Knitaholic Tio on Instagram, if you want to check out his stuff, because lovely. He did this in like a kind of browny gray, and it's just amazing.
It's like driftwood color, you know, like that.
Yeah.
It's in between gray and brown.
And the pattern actually was supposed to have a border of garter here, and someone did the I-cord edge as a alternative, and he loved it. Someone in the test knitters group, and asked if he could put it on as an alternative. And so hopefully it will be an alternative in the pattern. I'm pretty sure it will be, but I did it too because I loved it. Yeah. Because I just really think like
I love I-cord edging on a shawl.
And it goes so well with the
ridges.
Yeah. But it is, I love this shawl. I am so impressed.
Yeah. This is not blocked yet, by the way.
Oh, no. Well, and it's garter. I'm not going to block it.
It's like 8 or 9 feet. And it's...
Yeah, it is. Like, let's see. Okay. That's 5'4", and then there's still...
Oh, a couple feet. So 7.5 maybe.
There's still that much.
Yeah. So it would easily block to 8 or 9 feet.
Yeah, and so I'm really going to enjoy that in the winter. Right now, I'm like,
get it away.
But yeah, and I knitted in like less than 4 weeks.
Yeah.
The pattern... He warned us when he sent out the pattern to all the test knitters that it looks really complicated just because it's a hard one to
chart.
Well, yeah. And yeah, he actually had a chart and I didn't use the chart. I actually used the written out instructions.
That's rare for you.
Yeah, which I never do. Yeah.
We both prefer knitting from a chart whenever there is one.
So yeah, the instructions look really complex, but the knitting is actually so simple.
I'm totally gonna knit one.
Yeah.
I'm
so
totally gonna.
Indecisive. Next Saturday it comes out if you're wanting it.
By Kyle on Ravelry.
Yeah. So it'll be on Ravelry. I love it. I'm so
excited for his next one. He's got another one that he's knitting up right now. And it looks like a simple textured one again, and I'm like, oh.
I really like the texture, and normally this is the kind of thing that I would love to wear, but I don't normally like to knit it, or I didn't used to. But lately, the simple garter with just something that
keeps
it interesting have been totally up my alley.
Yeah.
Because for a long time I wanted the most complex lace or cables. Just to keep me interested, but that's not what I wear.
Yeah. Lace for me. I knit so much lace when I
Yeah.
was starting out. And I'm
not a lacy person.
I don't enjoy wearing
No,
lacy shawls.
no.
So
This one I'm going to enjoy wearing, I think.
Yeah.
I've got to figure out exactly how to wear it because it's long. And
Cindy was
I'm
like,
short.
I don't know how to wear it.
Yeah, I'm like...
Our friend Liz came in and she was just like,
oh, you like
flop, flop. And it looked perfect.
I flopped it over her. I flopped it over her and she was like, looks good on me. I'm like, it's mine. It's mine.
Yeah, she really liked it. She was like, maybe I'll take it home.
No, it's mine.
Well, that's it for FOs. Let's, we have some KALs going, so let's talk about those.
Yeah. So I updated the Knit to Alaska, or Knit the Alaska Highway.
The Alaska Highway make-along.
Yeah. It's got many names.
It's got many names. If you've got Alaska and Highway, it's ours.
Which is basically, for you who don't know, you can knit anything you want for it. It's been going on since
last year.
Last April or May?
May.
Okay, last May. And all you have to do is post your mileage. So basically, if your shawl was, let's say 2.5, just to make it easy, 2.5 balls of a 400 meter a ball yarn, then you post that you knit 1,000 meters. And you can
knit
post
or
with
crochet
pictures,
or spin or embroidery thread, like whatever you did that used yarn.
Weave, anything.
Count how much yardage you used.
Yeah, yardage or meterage. I can translate.
She's bilingual.
I'm bi-systemal? I don't know.
That sounds weird.
Yeah, it does. Because I'm certainly not bilingual. But, and so I added them up last night.
Yeah.
I've just been adding it up every month or so. Well, that's my goal. And I got it this time. So, no, I've got the...
You've got it on yours.
Oops. Then my sister texted me and I got out of it.
She's so bad.
We are 12 kilometers from Prophet River, which is our next milestone.
Yeah.
So,
and that was one of the small milestones we were going to do a small draw at when we cross it.
Well, a normal size draw, but for a small prize.
Yeah. She's so pedantic.
So, as a group, we have knit, spun, crocheted, everything else. 352,545.05 meters.
That's awesome.
Or 352.54 kilometers. Which
is
I don't know in miles.
225 miles, I think?
There's about 100 kilometers per 60 miles.
Oh, okay. So yeah. Anyway, over 200 miles. Over 350 clicks. It's pretty awesome.
Which is cool. So the Alaska Highway is a lot longer than that.
Yes.
But given that when we started, it was taking us months to go
to the golf course at the end of
12
town.
kilometers. No, the golf course is like 12 kilometers out of town. And now we've got loads of people doing it, and it's loads of fun. So yeah,
it's so fun to see everybody's whips, and I've added projects to my favorite, added patterns to my favorites in my queue because I've seen them on there. So it's been really fun. Yeah. So thanks for joining in. It's fun for us too.
And we'll do a draw once we hit there, and then our next milestone, because we're gonna, I'm sure, hit that before our next podcast. Yeah. So we'll have the draw then. But the next milestone after that is Fort Nelson, which I never thought we would make too, but it's at 454 kilometers, which is less than 100, no, just over 100 kilometers.
Yeah. It's insane.
Just over 60 miles. Woohoo, I can do this.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been really fun, and it's great if you post a picture on the thread. You don't have to. All you have to have is the mileage. Please put the mileage. Yeah. Because otherwise it doesn't get counted.
Yeah, and your name isn't in the draw if you don't put your mileage in. So just, even if you say I used 1.5 balls
of this yarn,
that's 400 yards per ball.
Yeah.
We can do the math if you have a hard time with that, but if you want to be included in the prize draws, definitely include something for your mileage. Yeah. So even if it's an estimate, that's fine. We're not checking your ball bands.
Yeah.
So,
if you go, it was about this, that's fine too. Yeah. You don't have to be like Peggy, who is our wonderful, wonderful knit night lady, who calculates it down to 2 decimal points.
I do too. I just give you 1.
Yeah. But Peggy, actually, this last time, Peggy gave me down to 3 decimal points. She's fabulous.
Yeah. I love Peggy.
Yeah. Yeah.
We have so many awesome people at our local knit night.
Yeah,
and they're
we do.
so fun. And it's too bad you guys don't get to interact because a lot of them aren't on Ravelry at all.
A lot of
or
them aren't
online.
on the internet.
But they're just wonderful, wonderful ladies.
Yeah. So that's our ongoing, forever and ever.
Not forever and ever, but
No.
for a while longer.
Make along. And then right now we've got a smaller one going on.
Christmas in July. We said last time we were extending it for a couple of weeks into August, so we're going to extend it till August 15th at midnight. I'll close the thread. So definitely get your posts in for Christmas in July projects. Whips are fine as long as you include a photo of the finished project. That's fine. And
It's also okay if you don't finish the project.
oh yeah.
If you're working on something that's Christmassy.
If you're working on something that's Christmassy by August 15th, definitely post a photo of what you've got. And you'll be included in the draw. And we have an awesome prize from Liz.
Yes.
Her piece by piece bags, and she made a custom one with a wintry Christmas theme on it. And it's beautiful, and it's entirely reversible. We showed it last time, and I love it. And it's put away to stay nice and clean and pristine until we do the draw. So
yeah. It's anything that you are knitting, crocheting, making that's for a Christmas present, that's from supplies you got for Christmas or other winter holiday.
Or if you don't celebrate a winter holiday, something you got as a gift, like yarn you got as a gift.
Sure.
Or something you're making as a gift for someone. That's fine too.
Or decorations for said holiday. Yeah, anything. We're
this
pretty
doesn't
open.
have to be yarn. Like, you could be making origami paper cranes for your Christmas tree. It's a Christmas decoration.
Peggy made,
that's fine.
Here's a good example. Peggy she makes little egg decorations. And she made a bunch of Disney Christmassy ones for Rebecca.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And I forgot to take pictures of all her Christmassy stuff.
Horrible.
So terrible. Horrible. That's all right.
She's a bad podcaster.
I am a terrible...
I didn't take pictures either, but I'm not a bad podcaster because I didn't.
Not.
I wasn't the one that forgot to.
Yeah, okay. But and I'm really bad. I've made a couple little mini socks for the Christmas in July, but I had all these plans and they totally got derailed by test knit and wedding shell knit.
Yeah.
I was gonna work on, I have socks that I'm doing for people for Christmas and all sorts of things.
You'll do your Christmas knitting later, as usual.
Yeah. No, I won't.
My goal was to get at least one of my dad's socks done, so that I'm not at the last minute.
Think it'll be done?
Yeah, totally. Because I had set it aside with the heel, because I didn't want to do that at knit night. So now it's just straight knitting. It'll be super easy to finish that. I'll even start in a second.
Yeah, I was gonna say, as soon as you finish the first one, just cast on the second one.
I will.
Because even if it's just the cast on.
It's not like I've never not gotten my dad's socks done in time. It's just that they're last minute.
Yeah. She's like, I have to mail these out by whatever date.
By the 1st. And then on the 1st, I'm like,
I'm still knitting!
But
yeah, luckily,
done.
Canada Post is a little faster than it used to be.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's our KALs.
Acquisitions!
You have some acquisitions.
I acquired stuff.
Okay,
besides the 60 balls of yarn.
But those kind of don't count. They're for the store. We're just not selling them. They're for stuff we're selling at the store.
I got this gorgeous little thing. Okay, so these are Chowgu. Is that how you say it?
Yep.
Excellent. Chowgu needles. They are the 4-inch interchangeables. They have all sorts of options.
They're the Chowgu red lace.
Yeah.
Because they have a few different.
The only metal ones they have now. They're fabulous. So I got the full set. So these are 4-inch tips. So they do an 8-inch cable. So 8 inches plus 2 4-inch tips. Your interchangeable needles are a 16-inch.
Yeah.
It's great. So that is what I'm knitting my hat on. And I am loving it.
I love that their interchangeables go down to a US 2. Like, I love...
Well, they go lower than that.
In this
set, yeah.
Like, I think a lot of people would love it. Like, I use the Knit Picks ones primarily. I have my Kollage ones now, too, which I love. But the Knit Picks ones go down to size 4, or 3.5 millimeters is the smallest size in the interchangeables. And it's like, if it just went to even the largest size 2 or 2.75 millimeter.
Which is what these go down to.
It'd be great, and these do, which is fabulous.
Yeah, so one of our customers lent me a CHAOGU to try out, and I loved it so much that we ordered these in for the store. Yeah, so I got this set. It goes from 2.75 millimeter, which is the larger size 2, all the way up to US 15. So they're kind of strange in that these needles all fit on one size cord, one
diameter of cord.
Thank you. And then the larger ones fit onto a larger diameter of cord. Yeah. But they're all the same cord, and they're fabulous cords. So it's like a metal core wrapped in nylon.
Yeah.
And they're so flexible. Yeah. But they always kind of pop back.
Yeah.
And yeah, they are lovely. I love the joins. They're really smooth.
I think because they change the size of the cords for the bigger needles and the smaller ones, they do get a much smoother joint. Like
yeah.
I think that's part of it, right?
Yeah.
You put that in the wrong side.
Nope. And then they actually have interchangeable needles that are even smaller, the mini ones, which is what Cheryl had lent me.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I got this set anyway. And I love it. And they also sell a set that's just these sizes. So 2.75 millimeter large US 2 up to 5 millimeter US 8.
If I got them, I'd probably get those.
That's what I was planning on getting, but then all of a sudden I was like, oh, but I use these sizes for stuff too. And I really love them. They're really sharp points.
They are.
And I had been totally happy with my knit picks. Like, that's all I have is knit picks. And I love my knit picks. I recommend them to everyone. They're great basic needles.
And a great price point.
Yeah. And I've been knitting for over 10 years, and that's all I've used the whole time. I love them, but once I got introduced to these, I really like the sharpness of the tips. I'll still use both. Yeah. But yeah.
Pull out one of the thin needles, or cords, I mean.
Oh,
and
okay.
one of the thick cords to show the diameter difference.
Okay. And you're going to grab one of the minis?
Yeah.
Okay. So you can barely even tell. The only place you can really tell is at the actual...
At the join. You can see, because it's so much smaller, if you're knitting on a small needle, that's...
You don't want your join bigger than the needle.
Yeah, so it's very smooth because it's not going to be...
Yeah, so these go on the minis, which are 2.5 millimeter and smaller. Yeah. And then these are the smalls, and then these are the larges. And you can actually get an adapter to put like the large tips onto a small cord or the small tips onto a mini cord. Yeah.
Yeah, if you like the mini, it totally works.
Yeah, I do. And the mini was the one I was using, and I quite like that cord. But truthfully, I love these cords too. Yeah.
And the set comes with a fair number of cords of each length, of each size. So, like, you're not just getting one 24-inch cord or one 32. You're getting a couple.
It's 4.
Yeah, you're getting a couple.
They do their cords differently than knit picks. So knit picks, any of the cords includes the tip length. The CHAOGU's cords don't. It's just the length of the cord because
like
they
have label them.
Because they have 4-inch tips, 5-inch tips, and then the other thing we were going to show off. It's not a personal acquisition, but it's a store acquisition.
I don't know. I love these, and if I knit more socks, it'd be an easy thing to justify.
Yeah, it would.
I don't know that I should justify it given the amount of socks I knit, but so this tiny little case fits all your accessories and 12 interchangeable needle tips and your cords and everything. So it's a little nylon case. It's got a D-ring that you can open up and attach to your knitting project bag. It comes with stitch markers and little keys to tighten them. It's got cable ends, all your cables, and then...
I'm just showing things off while she's talking.
And then it's got
these itty-bitty little tips.
So if you like knitting socks on a 9-inch circ or an 8-inch circ.
Or like baby hats.
Or sleeves. If you like to have sleeves that you can knit on one circ all the way down, right down to the wrist. Like, my wrist is not 9 inches. It's 5.
Yeah.
I'd need much shorter needles. And,
there's 6 needle tip sizes. that go from 0, so 2.0 millimeter, all the way up to 3s with 3.25 millimeter in 2-inch tips and 3-inch tips.
And then the cords are, they're like 3 different lengths of cords, so you can make 7-inch needles, 8-inch needles.
You can't do 7.
Oh, sorry.
9 is
the
smallest.
Is the shortest.
9 is the shortest.
9-inch needles, 10-inch needles, 11-inch needles, 12, 13, and 14-inch.
Something like that. Yeah, the mixture.
Between changing the tip length or the cord length. So if you like knitting stuff on a single circular needle that's the right size,
it's an amazing little set.
It's amazing. So yeah, it's so compact. You can if you travel a lot, like travel knitting is always good to have, but then what if you need a different needle or whatever? And it even comes with a needle gauge if you happen to misplace a needle.
They're all
engraved.
Engraved right on them.
It's a shiny engraving. I don't know that it'll show.
You know what?
Camera.
Everyone. Oh yeah. I was going to say everyone I've talked to who have had these for a while say the engraving you can still see after using it lots. I know a lot of ones just wear off pretty quickly.
Yeah.
But they're all you can't tell. No. But they're all labeled on the needle.
It's such a neat set, and I'm a sucker for like cool functional, like
yes.
I like functional, and this is like, look at that, 12 needle tips.
Yeah.
3 different lengths of cables.
All the accessories go in here.
Zip it
up.
It's
this tiny little set.
All the accessories, even stitch markers.
Yeah.
And it hangs on your project bag, and it's smaller than my palm.
Yeah, it's
amazing.
I'm so impressed with them. Anyway, we got a few of those to sell at the store, and we put them on our Etsy too. So yeah, if you're interested. But we basically we liked them. So this isn't a sale pitch. It's just us going, oh, they're so cool. Yeah. So yeah, it's really cool.
I think they'd be fabulous for lace because the tips are really sharp.
Yeah, well, that's what they were designed for.
If you like Haya sharps, I would say, because I've used those, they're way sharper than the Haya steels and about the same as Haya sharps. The shape of the point is a bit different, but they're definitely as sharp as the Haya sharps.
Have you used the Addy lace?
Yes.
Because I've used Addies, which are so blunt. They're blunter than knit picks, and I can't use them anymore.
Yeah.
But the Addy lace are sharper, are they?
They're a bit sharper, but they're also less slick.
Oh, see, that would not be good for me.
Yeah, they have a different finish on them, so those lace stitches don't slip off your needle.
So it's just so cool because everybody can get whatever they need for whatever project.
Yeah.
I mean, if they're willing to spend a lot of money on needles, but
yeah. I'm not. For 10 years, all I had was my knit picks.
Yeah,
and
me
I
too.
them.
Me too. But now I splurged.
Yeah.
So that's cool. Other
acquisitions.
Okay, so Liz brought us some more bags that she made, piece by piece. They're so cute. Anyway, because in the first batch she had one of these, and it sold the day we put up the podcast.
Yeah.
Even though I kind of wanted it. But Liz had lots more, so she made some more. There's a whole bunch in our shop, but I am going to okay, I'm debating. I still love this one from the first batch.
Hold it in front of the camera.
It's pretty. It's a bit narrower and a bit taller.
Yeah.
And the fabric's just so pretty.
I love it.
Or Canada. So,
Canada.
So I've been debating between them.
Get them both.
I am totally going to get them both. Yeah.
You have enough whips. You could use a few extra project bags.
I have, my goal for some time. I can't set deadlines anymore.
A goal with no deadline.
Yeah, well.
Okay,
my goal by the end of the year is to organize all my whips, figure them all out. I might actually have to start doing my whip lucky dip again. Because I've added some ones that, just don't have ends woven in or blocked. But yeah.
Okay, we should totally do whip lucky dip again.
Yeah, so I'm going to take these.
I should do whip lucky dip too.
Yeah. But yeah, so those are my acquisitions. I
Actually,
love project bags. They're just so cute. And just love her project bags. They're fabulous.
She brought us, I wanted to show, she brought us a bunch of variations on the Canada ones.
Oh yeah, this one, so it's got black on the bottom and plaid on top.
Hold it close enough to see the plaid.
This is great.
It's like
red. It's like lumberjack plaid.
Lumberjack plaid.
It's so lumberjack plaid.
Yeah. And then she brought us some that are just the same main fabric with red solid.
Or with lumberjack down there and red solid at top.
Or the plaid at the top with the black, like Cindy's.
Yeah. I was like, that's the same as mine. Why'd you bring it?
I didn't realize it was the same.
Then
another one.
Another sheepy.
So this one's like mine, but the top fabric is swirls, which is the inside fabric on mine. And this vintage fabric on the inside is amazing.
It's so pretty. So, yeah, and you could take turns.
Yeah, all her bags, they're completely reversible. Every seam is hidden.
And yeah, oopsie. The price tag is not reversible. Okay, there. Yeah, and you just, and oh, yeah.
Show this one close up.
Yeah, I say like a lot.
You do. You cinched it too tight. I want to show it flat. Isn't that a cool fabric? It's just, I love it.
Yes.
I love it. It's so fun. So anyway, we've got some more project bags that are not all up on Etsy yet. I'll be putting them up later, but I love them.
Yeah. Okay.
I love Liz too.
Yes.
She's awesome. Okay, I think that's it for our knitting content, sort of.
Sort of.
Okay,
Not
so
really.
my last thing is a product review and sort of knitting. We bought, I had mentioned a little while ago, we bought a circular knitting machine. And so we finally got it set up and got the basics of it figured out. And so I knit a giant tube. So this is just one of my yarns that I dye, and I did it up as a tube, and it's double-stranded. So I'm going to see if I can do double-stranded sock blanks so that they're identical socks as a tube, like knitting through both layers.
You mean dyeing through both layers?
Dyeing through. But I also did some that are double-stranded, just knit flat, like a traditional sock blank. And so this week I'm going to play around with dyeing them and see which ones I like better. Yeah. I'm also going to use them to dye some other stuff that'll be new. But I don't want to sit until we actually get around to it.
Yeah.
But there's
cool.
some cool ideas coming.
It makes, I mean, this is double fingering weight.
Yeah.
So it's very open.
It is more open than most sock blanks, but I think it'll still be good.
Yeah. But it makes a really neat fabric. I also tested out the knitting machine with a worsted weight, and it made a great fabric.
Yeah, it was perfect. Actually, it would be great for like knitting hats and stuff. To get
hats in a like a chunky.
In a Aran to chunky weight. Yeah. And then just doing the crown by hand would be fabulous. So, and it took a little while to crank like the first few, but then like less than an hour.
Oh, way less than an hour.
There were so many interruptions. I don't know.
yeah, we have no idea.
It was a crazy day, but yeah.
Yeah.
And it turned out great. Like once I got the knack of it.
Yeah, because if you drop a stitch, it can be a little hard to.
Yeah. Well, the machine came with no instructions on how to fix drop stitches or what if you get the edge wrong or something like that. So. Yeah. I should have gone onto YouTube and found some tutorials, but I figured it out.
They sent a DVD. Yeah. You took it home and didn't watch it.
I haven't watched it yet. But this is the machine. It's the Addy Express King Size Circular Knitting Machine. You just crank on the side. There's a switch for knitting flat or in the round.
It even counts your rows.
A yarn guide here, and it's got a digital row counter, so you can just knit the same amount every time if you're doing single-stranded sock blanks, for example. But I posted this on Instagram, and a few people asked about the machine itself, so I thought I'd do a little bit of review. The parts are all plastic. They're fairly solid. I don't see them breaking easily, but the gears, especially when you're knitting the first row into the cast-on section, it kind of crunches as you go through the first one, which is a very disconcerting sound if you're as paranoid as I am. So I was afraid I was breaking it, but just leave it.
There was a
anyway
pop up, and it was annoying me. I couldn't see my forehead.
She gets annoyed so easily. Are you happy now you see your forehead?
Yes.
Anyway, yeah, so for a basic review of this, I don't see it breaking very easily. It does make some weird noises, but I think that's just part of the mechanism. The fact that it's all plastic pieces tends to make it louder, and, you know, it kind of rattles a bit more.
Yeah.
But it works great, and this is how loud it is once you're not working in the cast on. So it's not hugely loud. But the biggest thing I found, knitting in the round was super easy. Casting on was super easy. And I did it with a single strand of sock yarn. I did it with a double strand of sock yarn. I did it with a worsted weight. And all of them worked great. I mean, the fabric was hugely gauzy with the fingering, but all of them worked great for knitting in the round. It wasn't a problem at all. Knitting flat, however, getting the edge stitch to catch properly was
harder.
Much harder. It got better. Like, in the end, I was able to get it out just fine. But there were several times, especially the first inch or so, until the fabric is kind of built up and has some stability, I just ripped it off the machine and started over.
Yeah.
And ripped it off and started over. So I think it'll take some practice with the knitting
Yeah,
flat.
I would definitely, like, if you're wanting to knit in the round, it's excellent.
Yeah.
And it's funny because it looks massive. It looks like it's gonna do a massive tube, right? Because it's very stretched when it's on there.
Yeah.
But then when you take it off, you basically
it's barely hat-sized.
Yeah. Which looks really funny because it's so open.
Yeah.
That's why I was saying using chunky yarn would probably make a great hat.
Yeah.
I was thinking you
worsted. Worsted would
the
make
worsted
a loose,
was
slouchy,
yeah. I mean, most hats you want a pretty dense fabric. I think it would be amazing for like KALs and stuff. I'm actually going to try that out.
Yeah.
Especially like the tube KALs where you just like then join the tube.
Oh yeah.
I think it would be fabulous, and that's a great scarf too, right? Because then you don't have a back.
Yeah.
It would just have to be longer than this. But yeah, I think it would, if that's what you're wanting it for, that'd be fabulous.
Yeah. And somebody asked Cindy.
There's a few Cindys that watch us.
Cindy.
Yay, Cindy's!
Cindy Toner.
Cindy Toner.
Who we
Monsoon
got
Calamity?
Monsoon Calamity on Etsy. Who we got our gradient cotton from.
Still gotta
was
figure out what I'm
asking
gonna
about
do.
it and using multiple strands. Multiple strands are not an issue at all.
Yeah, I think your cotton would work great.
Yeah. Even the 4 strands, I think it wouldn't be an issue because it's a bit thinner than this yarn I was using was.
But it would be a very open.
Yeah, super open.
Yeah.
My biggest thing would be if you're planning to use it to knit flat, there are probably other machines available that would do better. If you're wanting something that can do both, I think it's good and you'd get the hang of it and it'd be fine. I love the row counter because then I can just like put on a cone of yarn, for example, and crank the same number of rows and know I've got exactly 100 gram blank each time or something like that. So if you're wanting something the same each time, that's a great feature.
Yeah.
But yeah, fixing the mistakes isn't the easiest, and since they're more likely to grab only one of 2 strands when you're knitting flat or to not grab one at all, you have to kind of be on the ball and watch right where the yarn feeds in on that particular hook.
Yeah.
And that's just more common on the knitting flat. Once you get going, it's fine. But
I think if you're wanting to knit flat on a knitting machine,
put
the call out for like the big knitting machines that were huge in like the 70s. Well,
they're still.
Everyone, people keep coming up to me and going,
I have a knitting machine.
I have a knitting machine. Do you know anyone who would like it? And I'm like, I mean, one of our ladies had a couple that were her mums, and she passed them on to me, and I never got around to using them. And I didn't have the space to set them up. So I passed them on to someone else who was interested. But like I've had like 5 other people. Yeah. They're just like they had them or their parents had them and they just want to get rid of them. Truthfully, if you put out a local call, I'm sure there's someone wanting to get rid of theirs.
Yeah. I was hoping for ours. I was hoping, like, I wanted the machine that would work for both.
Yes.
But
yeah, this
I'm
is great.
really hoping that I can dye through the double layer.
I
think this would be fabulous.
Yeah, she's gonna try it out.
Yeah. This week I'll be dyeing some soft blanks.
And I mean, it was 250.
No, 250 for the small one.
Oh right,
it was like 300 and
which for a knitting machine, for a circular knitting machine, I mean, there's you can get ones for like $40, which I've heard pretty bad things about.
Yeah.
You can get this set, like these. There's a smaller one on this side.
Yeah.
The Addies, they're great. And then there's like the 3,000 and up.
Yeah, the soft knitting machines,
which are really cool, but they're also $3,000.
Yeah. The big thing with those is you can adjust them. So you can adjust the tension, you can adjust the gauge, you can adjust how many stitches there are.
Well, and you can do sock.
Yeah.
Like,
whereas these Addies or the cheaper ones, there's one number of stitches you can work on if you're knitting in the round anyway. If you're knitting flat, you can use a smaller portion of it. Can
decide.
But so this is 46 stitches no matter what. I can't do 50 stitches, I can't do 52. I can't adjust it to 3 stitches per inch versus 4 stitches per inch. It's just, it is what it is.
Yeah,
and if it works for what you need, it's great.
Yeah.
But if you need a different gauge or a different number of stitches, then the cheaper machines aren't for you.
Yeah.
So, whereas the expensive ones, like those $3,000 sock knitting machines, like the Erbach or
they're
Gerhardt,
beautiful. But
you can replace, like, the part that's red here that has the stitch needles on it. You can replace that with a different cylinder that's a different number of stitches. Like, you can get one for 64 stitches or for one for 72 stitches. Yeah. So if you need the flexibility of stitch count, the cheaper ones aren't going to work. But, for what I needed, I think it's perfect.
Yeah. We've been having fun with it, so. Yeah. And then she's going to start dyeing some of the stuff we've been cranking out.
Yeah.
So that's what we got it for.
That's our product review instead of a knitting book review. Since we had a few people ask about that on Instagram, I thought it'd be a good thing to review.
So now we're on to Culture Consumed, I think.
I think so.
So this is that was the end of our knitting content. So now we're on to, our Culture Consumed for the week.
Yeah.
For the 2 weeks, I mean. Yeah.
So if you're only here for the knitting, thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you next time. And if you're here for more crazy random talk, that's coming up next.
Wow.
What?
Sorry, one side of my face just went really white.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's because you leaned straight up against the light.
Yeah.
Culture Consumed. We have something we did together this week.
Well, did together. We watched together. Yes. Okay. So I got Amazon Prime just for this.
No,
not Amazon Prime.
YouTube Red.
YouTube. It's premium now.
Oh,
it was YouTube
they
Red.
The name.
Reb. YouTube Red. They changed it to YouTube Premium. But I signed up for it. They actually are doing like the free month trial kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it just became available in Canada and a bunch of other countries. But we got it to watch Cobra Kai.
If you're our age, you have a
fond memory
of Karate Kid, perhaps, or any of the sequels. And Cobra Kai is the original Karate Kid cast. Like, it actually has
Ralph Macchio
and I
forgot his name.
Me too. Okay,
the guy who
his
played
main opponent in the ring at the end of the movie the
guy he kicks in the face.
You made me say Karate Kick because
Karate Kick.
Karate Kid. It's the same two actors, and then there's flashbacks to the original. So you see Mr. Miyagi and their memories, and and his
the other guy,
his sensei, Cobra Kai.
Yeah. Anyway. But so it's the same actor.
Cute.
So it's set 30 years later. And, it's kind of like what's gone on in their lives. And you can watch the first 2 episodes just on YouTube.
Yeah. on regular YouTube.
But there's 10 episodes. We watched it in 2 days.
Yeah.
Because it was so good. We were just like, another episode? Sure. Oh, no, we have to go to sleep.
If you loved Karate Kid, watch the 2 free episodes. Sign up for your free month of YouTube Premium, even if that's all you watch on it.
Yeah.
I didn't think there was tons that interested me content-wise there, but it was worth it just for that.
Oh, yeah. So much fun. So, Daniel's successful and married and has 2 kids. And Johnny, I was like, I forgot his name. Johnny. his life has not gone well.
Yeah.
And it's just about, I don't know, like picking back up with the karate kind of thing, and it involves their kids, and Johnny ends up teaching some kids who are getting bullied in school.
Which is kind of ironic since he was the bully.
Yeah.
But you get a lot more of their backstory. I really love, like, Johnny especially, you get more than he was just a bully. You get a lot of his childhood and what made him who he was, and what led him to where he is now, and it's kind of cool.
It's really nice because it's not, like, the first movie was very black and white.
Yeah. Daniel
was the good guy. Johnny was the bad guy. You know, this is much more nuanced. It's like, yeah, it's really, really
Johnny's the good guy, but he's not so good. Or Johnny's the bad guy, but he's not so bad. And,
Daniel's the good guy, but he does some really stupid things. And so it's really cute. We both highly recommend it.
Yeah, and the last episode had a pretty easy setup to a next season if they decide to do it. Like,
they already have. They've signed.
Okay, I was like, it looks like they're setting it up for a second.
It's coming
season.
out next year. So which is awesome because we loved it. We'll probably stop our subscription and then sign up.
And then I'll sign up for a free month. And then we'll have to pay.
That.
If
but
there's a third year.
I wouldn't mind paying. It was a lot of fun.
It was great. Like, we mainlined it.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah, we were home for a couple of hours every evening after work, and we just sat down and
we watched like 5
episodes each night. And I don't want to give away too much. So
no, it was fabulous anyway.
But it's really cool. There are some cool, there are flashback scenes, but there are also cool, just scenes that are mimicked from the original movies.
Totally.
But in a very different context, which I really liked it.
So, if you have fond memories of Karate Kid, definitely watch this. If you have never seen Karate Kid, go watch Karate Kid.
Yeah.
It's from the 80s.
It's on Netflix right now in Canada. I don't know if it is anywhere else, but
I'm sure it doesn't stand up to time, but it's really, really cute. You don't have to watch the next 4. Oh, watch the 80s Karate Kid, not the one from like 5 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
That's totally different.
Yeah.
And then watch Cobra Kai. It's so much fun.
It is.
I highly recommend it.
Yeah. And Cobra Kai is 2 words, Cobra and Kai, Kai, if you're looking for it.
If you search Karate Kid on YouTube, Cobra Kai will come up.
Yeah. It's fabulous. Go watch it.
Yeah. Well, I've been reading some books. Have you? Okay. So, I actually have like paper copies to show you. But I've been reading this series of romances by Mary Ballard, who is Canadian, so yay.
I've always said Bello.
I have no idea how you say it.
Okay, I'm like, I have been saying it wrong.
No, that makes actually more sense. I've never heard it pronounced. I have no clue. But I've read lots of her books before, but this is a series that came out, I don't know, 10, 15 years ago, and I never read, because, life. But it's called the Survivors Club series, and it's these 7 people who were all wounded in some sense from the Napoleonic Wars, and all recovered together, and then they're going off and meeting their future spouses, of course.
Of course, because it's a romance.
Because they're romance novels. So there's 6 guys and 1 woman.
How's that gonna work? Oh, they meet other people.
Yes, they meet other people. It's not...
Like, is she a Black Widow? Does she murder all her own?
No. The Survivors Club is these 7 people.
Gotcha.
And so I'm on the 5th one, and they're really good. They're Napoleonic, so Regency, obviously. That's my era of historical romances. Yeah. Because I've read all of the master or the mistress of Regency romances, which is Georgette Hare. Some people who come into the store are always asking me, okay, are they smutty or are they nice and clean? And I'm like, she's kind of in the middle. Not very explicit sex scenes, but they're there. And the other thing I wanted to say, okay, so half the series has these
Time for her
lovely...
rant.
This is my rant. Half the series has these lovely covers that pretty much, you know, describes, you know, it's got the right, well, almost the right fashion and everything. Half of them have the half-naked posed man, which I just don't understand. Vincent never posed like this in the book. He's the main character in this book. He's blind. That's his... Yeah, anyway. So the really good books, they are pretty standard romances. I love them. But they deal with a lot of different kinds of hurts. So Vincent's the only one who's really got a physical thing wrong with him since the wars. So he got blinded. But most of them are emotional trauma and how they deal with them. And it's not just like the women, and then this one, I'm assuming she'll meet a man because it's a pretty traditional romance. But they've got their you know, spouses by the end of the books have their own types of hurts and that kind of thing, and they're really good. They deal with recovery from all sorts of things, survivor's guilt, that kind of thing. So really good books. I highly recommend them.
Cool.
Yeah, I don't read romances a lot, but I will get into a series and then read romances for usually a month straight, and then go, okay, I'm done. I need something a little heavier. And I also finished last podcast, I was talking about listening to the audiobook for Curse of Chalion by Lois McMaster Bujold.
I want that now that you're done.
Oh, well, it's from the library, so.
Oh, well, I'll have to.
Yeah, audiobooks from the library, fabulous things. It was so good. So I've always loved her sci-fi books. And this was the first of her fantasy that I read. Amazing. It was so good. And so there are multiple books in the series, but this one, like, it's not a trilogy. Like, everybody's writing series and trilogies and everything. This one, it was a contained story. I loved it. It was so fabulous. So now I'm on to the second one.
I love her writing. Absolutely love it. Yeah. She's fabulous. If you haven't read her before, we've talked about her before when we talked about the Verkozigans, but Lois McMaster Bujold's one of my favorites.
She's great.
And you were mentioning Napoleonic Wars, and now I want to reread Naomi
Novik.
I don't know if I've mentioned those before.
Oh, yeah, you have.
Naomi Novik wrote the series called Temeraire, or His Majesty's Dragon, depending on if you're UK
the series
or
is called
America.
Temeraire. The first book.
The first book, sorry.
Can have either name.
But they're fabulous. It's Napoleonic Wars with an Air Force of Dragons, and I love
I still have to finish them. I've read the first 3.
I've read 5, 6. I haven't read the last 2, so 6.
Yeah, I think 6.
Yeah. I love them, and I should reread them, and then read the last 2.
Have you been watching or reading anything? You finished the books,
I finished the books that I had been reading, because I was reading a couple. I had the Imitation Game. And I finished that one, and I finished my Michio Kaku, which was the Parallel Worlds one, so a sciencey one. They were both really fascinating. The Michio Kaku, it was about 10 years old, and there have been a lot of changes in
science,
physics since then, like lots of new discoveries. So it was definitely a bit dated, but it was still really interesting. I really enjoyed the read, and the Imitation Game, I've seen a couple of movies on Alan Turing's life and read a bit, so it wasn't new information, but it was presented in a cool way.
It was a graphic novel.
Yeah, once I got used to the multiple voices.
Yeah, and you did, and you
I did.
ended up liking it? Okay.
Yeah,
because last time we talked about it, you were like, I'm not sure.
I don't know that it'd be my favorite, but I'd totally read one again by the same author if
it was
thought
a
topic that interested me. Yeah, absolutely.
Cool.
So and now I'm ready to start. Well, I have a Brian Greene at home. Called Hidden Reality, I think.
That sounds right.
Yeah. That I want to start. But I've also got the Laura Lamb that I got for Christmas that I haven't read yet. And I really want to read that. It's part of the pantomime series. And it's really... I've been looking forward to it for a while. So we'll see what mood I'm in once I head to my room and decide it's time to read.
We have very different reading habits, styles, everything. I read tons of books, and
I read a lot of news articles.
Yes.
Is probably the most, like, news articles and science articles is probably what I read the most of. And even in podcasts, like, I watch a lot of science-y podcasts, too. So.
Yeah. I was just going to say, I have read 84 out of 100. Oh, you can't see it.
No.
My challenge for the year was 100 books, and it is not even the end of July, and I'm already at 84. So I'm really happy about that.
I finished 2 this week.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I finished 1 last week and 1 this week. But, you know, sciencey books are heavy. They take a little longer.
Oh, my nonfiction. And that's why I...
And I fall asleep.
Yeah, I read a lot of different books at the same time because different formats. I listen to a lot of audiobooks, read ebooks, have paper books. A
fair number of
paper books
at our disposal. All the ones I've mentioned are ones that came in here, and I was like,
that's the problem.
That's not going on the shelf. I need to bring it home
these
first.
Books come in, and I'm like, ooh, I need to read that.
Yeah.
And I also go to the library. They laugh at me at the library.
Yeah.
They're like, you don't need more books. I'm like,
well, it's like we got Crocodile on the Sandbank in again.
Yeah.
And it's the first in the Amelia Peabody series by Elizabeth Peters.
Yeah.
And they're kind of turn of the century. She's she inherited her father's estate, and she's basically old and uneligible, like
old
24. She's a spinster. But she decides she has a love of books and knowledge and Egypt, and she goes on a trip to Egypt. She becomes an Egyptologist, basically.
Yeah.
And the series is fabulous.
They're so much fun.
And we got in the first one, and I'm like, I was so tempted to bring it home again.
And reread it.
I just want to reread all the things that I know I love.
Yeah, I do reread a lot.
And I never used to. But lately, I've been rereading or re-watching or stuff much more than I've been reading new stuff. Because, like, the Mrs. Bolifaxes I picked up again.
Fun.
I had one on my phone as an ebook, and I was like, I'm going to reread one of these.
But, yeah, so I used to read, well, okay, my first month at university in how many days are in September? 30 days, I read 31 books. Of course, I knew no one in the city, and I spent all my time at the library when I wasn't in class. But yeah, I took 6 classes and read 31 books. So I used to read a lot.
That's a lot by any standard.
Yeah. So yeah, and then once we started this, I really didn't have as much time to read. Yeah. But now I'm really working on getting back.
Yeah, making more time.
And so yeah, I'm making time, and it's really hard because I want to be knitting and reading.
Yeah.
So audiobooks are great for that. I listen to a lot of audiobooks.
I've got to get into audiobooks more. I've listened to a few, but I think that's the thing. I don't read as much because I want to knit or I want to spin.
Yeah.
Spin mostly lately.
But yeah, if you can listen to audiobooks, it's fabulous to do it while knitting or spinning or whatever. And yeah, I mean, they take longer, or at least they take longer for me than reading. But I also I can listen to audiobooks while I'm grocery shopping, which is great because I hate grocery shopping. So I've been challenging myself each year to do 100 books. And this year I'll hit it no problem.
Yeah.
Which is great.
In August, by the looks of it.
Depends.
Maybe September, but...
Yeah, and only one of those is only one of those is a picture book. Most of them are at least, young readers and up.
Yeah.
But, I mean, a lot of people, when they make book challenges or whatever, they'll say, you can't count kids' books or whatever. I'm like, they're still books. I don't care. Yeah, they're great.
And I think
graphic novels.
You're challenging yourself to read 2 books a week, and you're reading about 4 a week at this rate. Yeah. If one of them is a kid's book once in a while, I don't think it's...
I love kids' books. I read a little of everything. Yeah. But I have some fun...
You don't read a little of everything.
I don't read Westerns.
You also don't read my books.
I have read some like that.
Really?
Not recently, because they don't really...
I love the action-adventure B-movie in a book, basically.
Yeah. I've totally read some like that. It's just, they're not my cup of...
Preferred.
Yeah, and I also don't read a whole lot of literature. Basically, if it's won a major prize, I probably don't want to read it.
Yeah.
It's just terrible, because I'm sure they're great books, but I like to read... They don't have to be fluffy. but they just need to be happiness inducing. They don't have to be happy books, but
It can be a sad book, but you want to feel good at the end.
exactly. And actually, it's really funny. Me and a friend have decided to start a book club.
Happy book club.
Everybody's always said, "Oh, you know, you run a used bookstore, you should do a book club." And I'm like, I don't want to do the traditional book club. And she joined her soon-to-be mother-in-law's book club, and she's like, I loved the people, I loved the conversations and everything, but the books they read were horrendous. She's like, the last one, by the time, you know, the girl had been raped for the 3rd time or whatever, I just gave up. And I'm like, yeah. So I totally get it. So yeah, we're starting a happy book club. So yeah, and a lot of book clubs don't do fantasy or sci-fi or teen, and yeah, we're just gonna go with the books that make us happy. So, which is cool. And there's lots of books out there.
That does sound like a good one.
Yeah. Yeah. Another one of our knit ladies, we were chatting about book clubs, and she's like, yeah, my book club, the last like 10 books have been about World War II. She's like, I just can't do it anymore. So I gave them a list of books they could pick off for the next 4 months. And they picked actually one of my favorites, which is Broken Wheel. The readers of Broken Wheel recommend.
I have to read that one. I
Yeah.
have an ebook of it.
Yeah. It's fabulous. I highly recommend it. If you liked Guernsey Literary and Potato Peel Pie, which ironically is a little about World War II, but yeah, it's still excellent. I mean, I have nothing against books about World War II.
Yeah.
I have just read a lot of them in my life, and yeah.
Want something different now.
Yeah. So.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
That's
Wow, I just monologued about books. It's not that hard. I'm a book nerd.
You kind of paused there, and it sounded like I'm a book.
I'm a book.
Like, I'm
a book nerd. I've been working in books since I was...
There are no pages to turn. I'm trying to turn her arm, but there's no other page.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been working in books since
you were 17, 18?
Oh, well, I started at the library when I was 15. Oh. And then I had a couple years in college that I didn't work at bookstores, but then I did.
Mostly. Yeah.
Yeah, and this is apparently the rest of my life.
Books are good. It's an okay life.
Books are fabulous. Yeah. Books and yarn.
I think that's it for me.
And Coca-Cola. I'm so bad.
She's so bad. Do you have anything else you want to chat about?
No, I don't think so. I blathered for long enough.
Okay. I think that's it. I just rewatched stuff. There's nothing new to talk about, so.
I have some ideas for... I give myself book challenges. We're back to books, sorry. And one of my things has been to read, like, books set in countries all around the world. And okay, I don't know if you guys have seen these, but there's these world maps that you can scratch off.
Oh yeah, everybody's seen those.
You can scratch off, like, where you've been to. And I'm like, well, there's no point in me getting that because...
I've been to one country other than this one.
2.
Oh, 2. You went to Spain.
3. I've been into Tijuana, so I've been to Mexico. That's pathetic. But yeah, like, really, I've been to Canada, the United States, Mexico when I was 9 for half a day, and Spain. That's my entire travel life. But I'm gonna get one of those scratchy maps and scratch off the books.
That you've read about.
Yes. So, and it's a great scratchy map. I'll show it to you. Hopefully it'll be here next time. Mm-hmm. But it's got the scratchy countries, and then along the bottom it's got all of the flags of the countries in the world that you can scratch off as well. So I'm going to have 2 different things going. So I'm going to do countries that the books are set in. That's going to be on the map.
And where the authors are from?
Where the authors are from.
Cool.
And the flags are going to be where the authors are from.
That'd be a cool one.
Because that kind of does 2 different challenges. Because I'm really trying to read books, translated books or books that aren't from Canada, the US, Britain.
Yeah.
Because we need diversity in many, many different ways.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm really excited about that. So
that's really cool.
Yeah. And I'm also going to, rather than like, oh, I read a book set in Canada and scratch off all of Canada, I'm going to really try to like, okay, I read a book set in BC well, scratch off BC kind of thing.
As
Same
much
with
as
the
you
States.
can.
Yeah, I mean,
Easier,
there
easier
isn't
for
lines.
larger countries.
Well, no, that's what, but I mean for the larger countries.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to do. And for the States, I'm just going to kind of guess where the state is.
Or you could look at a map.
Well, yes, but like the map I'm getting does not have the state lines.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to like go, okay, it's this box here, I'll scratch off. But I'm really excited because a few years ago I challenged myself to that and I've kind of fell back on it, but this will be a fun way to track
come back to it.
And which is really bad because we actually also have a map that we were gonna do for the podcast.
Yeah.
Of like where our viewers are from and where we've sent things to on Etsy and stuff, and our friend Dano bought us a map for that, and we haven't done it.
Yeah.
So
part of it was finding a place to put it up that was visible, so it's fun and not just rolled up 99% of the time.
We got to put it on our living room wall as soon as we've gotten rid of the mattress that's leaning against our
I got a new
couch.
bed, which was fabulous, but my old one is still sitting in my living room because I'm wanting to sell it. So.
But yeah, so this is a really long podcast, mainly because I've been blathering. But, yeah.
I think that's it.
I think so.
Okay.
Ciao. Bye-bye. Have a good couple weeks.
Yeah. See you next time.
Talk to you later. Bye.